The Mid-Hudson region is experiencing unprecedented demand for all types of housing, and construction is not keeping pace. Developers have expressed a keen interest in Peekskill, evidenced by the construction of 450 new housing units since 2018. Residential building permits have increased by almost 4% since 2020, making Peekskill eligible for the Governor's Pro-Housing Community Program. Currently, approximately 600 units with retail space are under construction or consideration, particularly in downtown and along the Hudson River waterfront. Many of these projects are situated on small parcels that are typically more difficult to develop. A major constraint is the lack of land for parking. Construction parking structures under the building is a major expense that makes many projects infeasible. It also increases the height of buildings, which is in direct conflict with Peekskill's desire to maintain the quaint character of the downtown historic district. For these reasons, Peekskill's funding request includes the renovation and expansion of our 2 downtown parking garages. This map shows their locations and the sites that would become mixed-use developments if parking permits were available. By consolidating parking for residents, Peekskill's housing growth can be concentrated within a sustainable 4-block area located in the Federal Opportunity Zone.
The great thing about my project and mixed-use projects in general is that they have vibrant ground floors. And I'm envisioning a walkable ground floor with landscape interest and retail. There are a handful of parking structures available and some lots that are available, but they're undersized for the future needs of the city. And I think rather than focusing on how to fill a site with parking, we can now rely on the existing spaces that are city-owned and build upon them. And I think that's a win for everybody.
41 North Division was purchased over 5 years ago, and we have all sorts of plans ready to go for a mixed-use building, but the parking has always been an issue, so this grant could definitely ease that problem, and we could continue to have a vibrant downtown with more parking.
We're looking at both these 57 residential units as well as some commercial units in a mixed-use development. We are going to be building to the highest environmental standards that we can do for the site. We are in close proximity to some municipal parking facilities that need some help. When you have residents walking from your development to the parking lots, they by necessity will walk past Main Street and shop in the stores.
We've been developing housing in Westchester for about 30 years. And in the last 20 years, it's become harder and harder to make these developments work. In the last 5 years, with increases in construction costs, without getting infrastructure dollars to subsidize the parking and other infrastructure, the projects are infeasible. Without that Westchester County money to pay for the parking, this project would not have happened.
I say this is a catalyst for transformation. So I continue to encourage you to find new ways to celebrate this unique story, the charming downtown you have, the magnificent waterfront, the connections through the Metro North. You have things that other cities and communities would just envy.
Developers are also interested in providing housing along Railroad Avenue in our TOD district, but the roadway must be elevated to FEMA standards and the sewer line upgraded. In addition, improvements to the streetscape will incentivize new residential development. Funds to complete Peekskill's award-winning waterfront trail would be an added amenity for new residential TOD development.
GGC has invested heavily in Peekskill over quite a few years. We think Peekskill is at a critical junction right now. We would be willing to invest a lot more if Peekskill is going to be able to get some substantial financial support.
Peekskill's funding strategy for this infrastructure project will leverage DRI funds and private investments. The $10 million match is available from the city's capital account, bonding, remediation funds, parking revenue, and developer fees. The city's experienced project managers have recently implemented over $20 million in grant-funded projects. We are confident that new infrastructure and numerous housing developments can be completed within a 24-month time period. On behalf of the City of Peekskill, we appreciate the state's consideration of our request to fund crucial infrastructure that will support the construction of much-needed housing. Thank you.